40.
39.
Number 1.
39.
38.
37.
36.
35.
34.
33.
32.
31.
30. 29.
28. 27.
26.
25.
24.
23.
21.
20.
19.
18.
17. 16.
15.
14.
13.
12. 11.
10.
9. 8.
7.
6.
5.
4.
3.5.
3.
2.
1.
Hey, Rocky, you want to see me pull a show out of my hat? Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! All right, welcome to the Mouthwash Talk Show, a minty, fresh take on politics. Thanks for joining us. I just came fresh off of another show, Beyond Formal, and the host, Brandon Shane, and he is also known as Let's Go Brandon. So he's like embraced that, totally embraced it, and we're going to have a good panel tonight because Tiffany's not going to be with us. She is at the RNC up there, rubbing elbows, drinking champagne, and eating caviar. I'm sure that's all they're doing up there in Wisconsin. Maybe drinking the Pabst Blue Ribbon because I think that's where it's made in Milwaukee or old Milwaukee. Maybe that's it. They're drinking that. So, but tonight we're gonna have a little panel discussion. And quite honestly, I've been really swamped with a lot of stuff, and I didn't have time really to get a guest. So, but I figured there was enough going on, and we haven't had a decent panel discussion in a while. So I figured, what the heck? And, Let's Go Brandon, he's decided to come on over here. I just sent him a link, and he's going to be on the panel. I guess he's going to sort of fill in for Tiffany for a minute, and then he's got kids and a life. But he's on Central Time, so don't make it sound like he's staying up really late. So let's go ahead. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start this thing out with small talk. I have no idea what Mark is talking about this time around, but we're going to see it all for the first time. So here you go.
Hi, I'm Mark Small. This is Small Talk. In other words, the 2 minutes are played so that everybody can go on to whatever it is that they were going to say to begin with, and kind of blow off what I say. And what I'm going to say is this. We had violence this last weekend. How could anybody be surprised? There was an assassination attempt on Trump. Now, somebody's saying like the left did it. They've just been beaten up by saying like, it's going to be the end of democracy if Trump is elected. Hold it. Trump's the one who said the Proud Boys should stand by and stand back. Joni Ernst was picking up a rifle for a campaign ad. Marjorie Taylor Greene had an automatic rifle. The guy who's running for governor of North Carolina said there's got to be some killing. And you have the audacity to back somebody who says that we're causing some kind of problem because we're questioning a dictatorship that might be in place in November. Trump said, day one, I'll be a dictator. I got to say, this really smacks of warfare. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to talk about warfare. What about enemies? Beckwith. Well, last week said, the media are the enemy of the people. No, Micah, Bubby, you are the enemy of the people. And any of you that are listening to this right now who are trying to say, well, people who oppose our violence are really causing a problem. President of the Heritage Foundation said there's a second American Revolution coming, and it'll be bloodless if the left will allow it. No, I'm a pacifist, but I've never stood back and let people walk over me. I got the crap beat out of me for wearing an armband against the Vietnam War when I was in high school. And I've maintained that pacifism ever since. I'm a pacifist. I'm not a doormat. And I think in November, you'll see what the difference is when the vote is done. Peace.
John, I can't hear you.
My microphone's not going. What I was saying is, Brad, yours is a little hot. Your microphone's a little hot.
Okay.
So I had turned off my thing. I was listening to it. Never mind. You don't want to hear my life story about how I screwed the show up. So, hey, let's get to it here. We'll talk about Mark's little rant and rave there in a minute, but just to tell everybody that our show, we respect and listen to everybody's opinion. We just may not agree with it. So we'll get that out of the way of our disclaimer.
I feel like you were looking at me.
No, I'm looking at the whole cast here. And Tiffany, even up in Milwaukee, I'm looking at her. And so let's go with our first guest. Let's say, Brandon, tell our people a little bit about yourself and how the heck did you get intertwined in this mess?
All right. A little bit about myself. I have a podcast, Beyond Formal. I just had John on. We went for about an hour. He was awesome. He's a great guest. First time I met him, I was like, man, this guy is eccentric. I like him. And he did not fail. And he did not disappoint. I really appreciate it. And he invited me on. I told him I got a little bit, but I got kids. I got a wife. And it's late over here in God's time.
We'll ruin. Yeah, he said Central Time's God's time. That's more like farmer time. It's like the wheat won't grow right if it's on the Eastern time. It grows
right
to that side or whatever. But so, Lucy, how are you this evening? I see you got some kind of grassy knoll or something back there.
It is. If you look carefully, just over my head, right about there, you'll see Bill Gates.
Of course we do.
Of course. And he's only 2 rooftops back from the actual shooter. So
is that a tinfoil hat on that other person there?
It just might be right there, right? It's hard to do this backwards, right?
Yeah, it is very hard. We were trying to figure
out. Yeah, I thought I would honor the lone gunman theory with picture the grassy knoll.
We've gone. It's crazy times, and I'm almost glad we didn't have a guest. We were going to talk about the 2025 project or whatever that's going around, but that seems to have taken a back burner, didn't it?
But should it? Should it take a back seat?
Well, here we go. Yeah.
Apparently, Trump's fine, right? Like, he's okay.
Well, now, Brad, this is he can't listen now. He's got the so he's just going to be.
Well, but what like did he apply the bandage? Did a doctor? Did a doctor actually see him? Was it a bullet? That
was the glass, and I mean, it's this is we're still arguing about
injury, and I'm just saying, I would just like our government to be a little bit more transparent. I know that's odd.
Right.
We need to elect a bunch of ghosts.
Good luck
you can
with
see
that.
right through them. That's what I'd say. So yeah, well, and let's just get started with Mark Small's comments. It's
loved it.
Yeah, he was.
Mark, I love you, but that was totally incoherent rambling.
No, Mark is still
incredible.
Mark is still right to be warning of everybody of Micah. I love that every one of his small talks takes that left turn, and I feel like, yes, he is correct. Because I still think, Micah's talking about going into classrooms now, and that's right in line with what a lieutenant governor does, and it's insane, kind of. So I'm glad that he's still calling him out.
Okay, so since you're a Democrat, I have to, and I'm a libertarian, I have to counterpoint you. I'm not a Micah fan. I mean, as a human being, he's all great and everything, except for he wants to shove religion down your throat. And I consider myself kind of a very spiritual person. Don't have much use for organized religion. But maybe the former the lieutenant governors were just lazy. Maybe he is, a dedicated public servant, and he's going to put some things into place.
I don't know. I mean, Suzanne Crouch she wasn't lazy. She was, she sort of did the role right. She was worried about mental health. She had my wife's art in the State House. She had 20 women artists. I mean, I think she did what she was supposed to do. I think
she didn't end the Fed. She didn't have, any sort of,
she did steal our money tax.
Yeah.
That's pie in the sky thinking there.
Yeah.
And that's it's gonna have to take more than one person.
So our show it basically has Mark Small, everything he has Micah Beckwith commentary in it, and Lucy has a taxation is theft and end the Fed, and Brad, you have cats should rule the world.
I mean, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't even lift a finger to save anything. It would just be chaos.
That's why you would like that, I think. Would you just hey, let the cats do it? that they let the cats. Now, Brandon.
By the way, I am
Yeah.
going to Dallas this fall in early November.
To Dallas?
Yeah, it's my first time. I've been obsessed with the JFK assassination since.
Are you going
I
to go
was
to
like
Piccadilly? Is it Piccadilly Square? Is that where it was?
No, Dealey Plaza.
Dealey Plaza. I knew it was something like that. Yeah,
So-
Dealey, Piccadilly, or whatever.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be a great time.
It's gonna be great. So let's go, Brandon. You've had Micah on your show before. He was quite pleasant, I'm sure.
He was pretty pleasant. I failed to see where he's pushing any religious agenda when it comes to politics. I know he lives a life that is basically he tries to live a moral life. If you guys have seen anytime he's pushing religion in politics, not at his church, but on a political platform, let me know.
That's good.
No, I give Micah a really hard time when he's on here and call him a theocrat and stuff. But I'll tell you what, I really do respect him. I am a long time, if you want to put a label on me, anti-vaxxer. I've been for medical freedom since I was a teenager. I have books that have been printed back in the 1800s with people that were fighting against compulsory vaccination. So this is not a new fight. And Micah did something that is really exemplary, and that is he stuck his neck out in order to sign religious exemptions for people in his position as a pastor. The only problem that I have with that is that I feel like that created the appearance of an undue burden. So there is no requirement in the law, even with my kids having gone to public and private and home schools. At no time did we ever have to declare our religion. And so I think if people had been a little bit stronger in what the actual law is and say, no, you don't get to put anything in my body, and there is no constitutional right to do so. There's no statute that compels this behavior. So I really believe that his heart was in the right place. There were a couple of other pastors that did the same thing. Ashley Grogg, which we've had her on here before. So she did a great job helping people with those exemptions as well. But when you go further than the letter of the law and what the law requires, you actually open yourself up.
I could see that.
Yeah. His heart was in the right place, and I've got to give his props for that.
Yeah.
Was this the beautiful vaccine that Trump always talked about?
He's the father of the vaccine.
He is the father of the vaccine.
Fast-tracked it.
We're talking about that vaccine, right?
We got to have a vaccine.
The one that
everybody.
the Biden forced us to take. Yeah, I didn't take it though. My job tried, but I decided not to.
Well, but think about it. If these 5,000 people that Micah wrote this, and something was to go bad, back to Lucy's point, she stuck his neck out there. I mean, because you can't sue the vaccine company, but you sure can sue a pastor that told you not to take it, and that would be a long line.
I feel like Micah would get around it.
Oh, do you?
Somehow.
Like a Teflon, Teflon pastor.
Yeah.
Nothing sticks to him.
Yeah.
Well. And being a Monday morning quarterback, and hindsight's 2020 and all that is one thing, but as Lucy said, he's stuck his neck out there.
As I said when I talked to the vaccinators, I said, you know what, I understand that you really believe that these shots are effective, and I wanted to let you know I have my own shots that are effective. So when you're willing to trade me lead for your needle, I'll go first.
Yeah, my shots are tequila and sometimes old granddad. Or Fireball if I'm in the mood.
Got some pure bloods here, huh?
Yeah, that's the best way to get her done. So
wait, Brandon, where are you out of statewide? You're on Central Time. So.
I'm on Central Time, Lake County.
Oh, okay. I'm from Griffith originally.
Really?
Yeah.
The region.
Yeah, these region. I didn't know we had a couple region raps on here.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a White Sox fan too. We got something in common.
Oh man, we're
Jacob.
So depressed right now. It's not a good time.
I called you the disgruntled Democrat on my podcast about an hour ago.
I fixed it. I stuck up for you.
No. I did say though.
Says that now.
I did say I do like Brad. He seems like a really cool guy.
I paid him to do that.
He did.
Thank you, John. It was worth it. That
so
nice.
We had Jacob. I can't ever say his last name. I'm glad he's not on the show anymore. But he was on for about 20 or so episodes, and he lived 2 miles from the state line in Lake County. So, really? And he was a Gen. What is that? A Gen X, Gen Z. What's the new young? He was 21. Whatever that.
Wait, are we talking about this Gen Alpha?
No, he was Gen Z. He wasn't a millennial.
It was way before you, Brad. Way before you.
Well, I'm wondering how Gen Alpha got this name, like that they clearly don't deserve.
Who's Gen Alpha? What?
I don't know. It's like the newest one. It's the I don't know.
They're the
Somebody in
ones
the
making
comments
fun of
can look
baby
it up.
boomers, and I don't like them already. So, like,
Hey,
making fun
while
of
we're on
people.
the subject and we talked about vaccines, has anyone else here seen the video where RFK Jr. is talking to Trump on speakerphone and his
Yes.
videographer was continuing to roll? And so
No, but
Trump was
tell us all about it, please.
Yes, I do.
it
I've
was
heard
it
of
was
that.
very short. RFK got some criticism for releasing that. There's a little bit of conspiracy theory around that. Did Trump know? Did he secretly agree? But had to like publicly play it off. But where Trump spoke disparagingly about the vaccines, and of course, my frustration with RFK is that he's not anti-vaccine. He vaccinated his own kids. He and a few others like Del Bigtree and some of the other people in the so-called anti-vax movement are actually stumping for green hour vaccines or safer vaccines. Of course, there's no such thing. So RFK Jr. apologized, and I think that he was horrified that it had gotten released. So I don't think he did it intentionally, or, it was the Kim Kardashian sex tape, right?
So how does this hurt him? I mean, is it is it because does he want Trump voters? What I mean, what's the
They're
what's the
trying
rub?
to they're trying to bring up, Trump as an anti-vaxxer again, and so that will pull some of the people that might have been sympathetic on the Democratic side, but who were pro-vaccine, because they're pro-science propaganda. They're not actually pro-double-blind, placebo-controlled actual studies.
It's like my show said, what's next? I mean, it's just the show ending there was like, what is next? And we haven't had an assassination attempt since Reagan. Am I correct in that?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, but there was that movie about George Bush getting shot.
Well, someone did throw a shoe at him as well. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that was.
A
I mean,
shoe.
he ducked that like maybe, but there's just a lot of questions surrounding this thing. I mean, you just think, how did this guy get that close? It's unbelievable how many theories
I love that both sides are questioning it. That I don't feel that there is a believed narrative yet, on either side.
I'll be interested to see how Donald Trump talks on Thursday. I'll be. I mean, if somebody shoots your ear off, that gets your attention. I don't care if psychologically you're going to think about it a little bit harder. Maybe not.
I heard Trump talk to RFK. He said it was just the loudest mosquito you'd ever heard in his life. So that's what he said. It sounded like going past his ear. So I'm going to go with weaponized mosquito drone for my conspiracy theory tonight. It wasn't actually shot. It was a weaponized.
Maybe it was one of those Ashley bird drones. They're all the birds are drones. That was one of the best conspiracy theories, other than yours, Lucy, was hers. And that was interesting, that all birds are drones by the government. That's probably true.
They don't have that kind of
technology. It does sound like a really loud, very fast, like mosquito or bee going by.
Man, that is like, I mean, think about that. It's like, I mean, my ears would be easier to shoot than his.
Well, but I think the main thing and not to say anything about what we're talking about now, but like a person was killed at a political rally. And like, that's the thing. Like, I live in Alexandria. Like, I have friends who would go to a Trump rally. Like, it could be like, they didn't ask for that. They were not part of it. And it's just upsetting, like, on either side for that to happen. And I feel like, conspiracy theories abound. Like, somebody lost their life, so I don't know how I would be able to wrap my head around that.
Here's one. They left the door open. So
I just figured it out, guys. I've been using my deductive and inductive powers of reasoning.
And a potion. Did you make a potion too?
I did. I made a tincture with 100 proof vodka. It was extra strong. But I really I was thinking about this, and I was like, who could have really done it? I started to put the pieces together, and it was Trump's ear. Clearly, the shooter was Mike Tyson.
The same with me too, because that makes sense. Did we know where he was?
I just mean, like, any angle you look at it, I don't think that bullet could have hit Trump's ear. It wasn't like a full bullet. It wasn't
a full bullet. It wasn't a full bullet.
It wasn't like
no, but I mean, like, it was either like a fragment of something. It might have been a bullet fragment, but like,
do you know how bullets work and how they have a casing and then they have an inner part?
Hey, Lucy, he's a Democrat. Talk slower.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, for how much I investigated, like, Kennedy assassination, I know what bullets look like and what they do to heads. Like, it was, it was amazing that he got out alive.
Well, it really was. And I don't know if you saw an aerial map, but from
Yeah.
the angle that the shooter was at, it was very clear that if Trump hadn't turned his head, it would have gone one ear into one ear and right out the other. It really would have.
No,
Wow.
and that's
Because
what I
when he
mean.
turned
Like
his head, it was a glancing blow.
but I
I mean,
still
it's
don't
just-
understand how it bullet wise. Like I feel like it still would have hit something much more than an ear. I don't know. Just
So
Well, they
my-
did say it was very, very close. Did you see that they saw the guy like 26 minutes prior?
yeah. Yeah. They admitted to taking note of him and his strange behavior.
Did you know that there was cops inside that building that he was on top of?
I
Yeah,
heard that
so-
today. Yeah.
It's
And-
like, I mean, you think about it, it could be just missed because they just were, just a hole in the system.
Okay.
But I
Have you
don't.
guys looked at the aerial map? Because it's really clear, and I don't know if I can do it this way because everything is like
Well,
opposite
see,
when
that's
I'm
where I
looking at it.
haven't looked.
But
I'm
the fact
just
of the
trying to
matter
be
is
devil's
there's the
advocate.
stage, there's the counter snipers, and then this guy's way over here. Like he can
Mhm.
shoot directly at Trump, and the counter snipers can shoot directly at this guy. Well, I can't do it. Anyway, if you look at an aerial map, it's super clear that they should have had people on every single building.
Every single.
Yeah.
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 Every
What was
single
it?
building.
400 feet
Yes.
away, right?
Well, the thing
Oh my
is, it's
God.
like what this kid
Yeah,
was 20
138
years old,
yards.
and I know we were making a little bit of light about the thing because sometimes that's we have to laugh to keep us from crying on some things. But
Yeah.
this has escalated our country to a spot where here in Indianapolis we have a murder every night and sometimes two, and we had a shooting on a pickup basketball game. We had a shooting because somebody didn't turn their turn signal on. I mean, we're getting to the point now where, hey, I'm going to solve this. I'm just going to shoot your ass.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and the Democrats have their talking point, no offense, Brad, of we got to turn the temperature down.
Okay. While we're all talking about this,
Nope.
the other
But
kinds of
look at all
things-
the people who haven't. Okay. In
turn the
politics.
temperature down.
No,
That's
look
right.
look at all the people who have said that it's Biden's fault, that it is the media's, that it is everybody but the shooter's fault. Why is that not lost? Every time there's a mass
wasn't
shooting,
the shooter's fault. He didn't have the skill to do it. It's, as Dorn put in the comments, the kid was a diversion for the real shooter. I mean, they already ran this play with Lee Harvey Oswald, right? Remember?
but shouldn't we be smart enough to find it out this time, Lucy?
I think we-
because
if that is the
no.
case,
No, it
I
doesn't
just-
have anything to do with intelligence.
I just think stuff has gotten
I
so
mean,
out of
technology
control.
wise, with as many cell phone videos that we should have of
If you want to know,
how many videos should there be on YouTube right now of the entire assassination?
How many people were there?
Exactly. Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
and
Why,
not only that,
why are
but
those not out?
there is a forensic audio analysis that was done by Mike Adams, often called the Health Ranger, with gosh, what's his website? I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, look up Mike Adams, the Health Ranger. His video site that competes with YouTube is called brighteon.com. This is a super smart guy. Mike Adams is a super smart guy. He's been, a rancher. He's very sciencey. He has multi-million-dollar lab equipment, and he regularly comes in and does gas chromatography on all kinds of things. And he has a lab where he can do audio forensics. And he talks about how most people don't understand how the sound of a rifle works with a snap and then a crack. So a lot of people don't even understand that we're talking supersonic speeds here, right? You're literally breaking the sound barrier with those bullets that are so fast. And so I tend to believe that there was somebody further back from the Patsy shooter, and they had to kill him to make sure that he couldn't talk.
He didn't talk. Boy,
But
yeah.
the question is he even alive? Because there's a rumor that he was actually in a BlackRock commercial 2 years ago.
Well, and
I
that's
saw
the thing. Where do you get? I mean, the kid's 20 years old. How did he know what this? I mean, there just seems like there's just a lot of planning and a lot of going out of the way.
He
for
watched
somebody.
CSI Boston. He was fully informed on how to kill a president, right?
Okay,
Probably,
like I said,
but
What does
they
that mean,
checked his
Lucy?
history.
Anybody that
They-
can shoot a gun can kill a president. Anybody that can just do that, right?
I'm going
Kids
to shut
do
up
not
because
take-
Brandon needs to talk.
yeah,
I've been-
Brandon, he's got something to say.
Sorry.
uh,
Sorry.
Let me talk. No, I was kidding. They've got they checked his history of his phone. I think his phone or computer, and they said they saw nothing about how to make, because he had a bomb, like an IED in his car. They said they didn't see anything about how to make that. Nothing about where to buy a ladder, where to buy this or that, or anything like that. and supposedly he set up the ladder. What was it? The day before or earlier that day, he bought it like within 2 days.
Wow.
That
Well,
and 50 rounds of ammunition, and he had the IED in his car, supposedly.
Maybe he used the library though to
to
use
do it all
their-
like the old fashioned way. He went and
Just
got
saying.
the library.
libraries.
Maybe Brad helped him.
No, let's not go
Okay.
there.
Well,
Let's not
you
go
said
there.
Library. I was
That's
like,
County.
I'm just
No
saying, I
respect.
don't want to have the Secret Service calling you tomorrow. Sorry about
Thank
that.
you. Yeah.
This is, too much. But
We're gonna watch Brad get raided right now.
yeah, right now they
Swatted.
just come in, cats flying
Just
and
be like,
everything.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, we need another host. That's
Well,
our
Dorn
third
just put in the
Democrat.
Dorn just put in the comments too, as in two shooters for sure. You never know what's true and what's propaganda, right? But all over the internet right now, supposedly the counter sniper said that he was ordered to stand down, that he wasn't allowed to engage. And if you notice, there's a shot. You hear the crack of the rifle, and then it was the second one that hit Trump, because the first one he's startled, and then the second one, he's looking at the other screen or whatever. So my theory is that the counter sniper was not allowed to engage until after the supposedly fatal shot got off. So I'm guessing that Thomas Crooks, and by the way, his last name is Crooks. You can't make this up, right? I mean, you think about how they name people when they're characters in movies, and this is it.
That's
So
what I think it's a Trump idea, by the way.
Actually,
so Crooks gets
I
off the
did see
first
his
shot,
name
and
was
this
something different. They had his name wrong.
okay, and
I-
then the
I saw
sniper
it
gets
today.
the second shot, the real sniper that's behind Crooks.
Yeah, my thing is like, then when they're like 8 shots fired, but how did only a few people get hit? That's what was my thing. It's like, those bullets, that crowd was like, there was a
Well,
person.
so the version that I heard was that there was a cop that went up to the roof and confronted him, right?
Yeah,
and I
before he
heard-
ever started shooting at all.
Yeah, but then I heard
What?
that a cop confronted him, and then he flashed his rifle towards the cop.
So the cop
Cop
ducked.
ducked down, and then the shooter went back and he tried to get a few shots off really fast, and that's why he kind of was all over the place. That's at least what I've heard. So that's kind of
it's just crazy that we're.
I'm sorry
even
if
talking about this.
if you've got an active shooter, or you've got a shooter that looks like he's about to be active, right? And he's on a rooftop, and you're a cop. You're supposed to be wearing a flak vest. I mean, you're supposed to bum rush the guy, right? They're making fun of the girls that are like hiding behind Trump. The DEI special.
Lucy, remember Uvalde? Okay, the school shooting.
Yeah.
They did. And a lot of people react a lot differently in situations when bullets are whizzing by your head.
John, if you're a police, and that's like this, that's like running away from the fire if you're a firefighter.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that.
Not to, you don't know if you're that kind of person until you're in that situation, I think too. So not to say anything against that person, but yeah, that is part of the job.
Dorn has the right answer. If a guy points a gun at you, you're allowed to kill him. You're allowed to shoot him, right?
Yep.
Well,
He's just put a gun at you. So
that's what I was thinking. But what about the snipers? Like, we live in a society now where everything is the standard ground laws. So how is that not perfect standard ground?
That has nothing to do with this.
If you see
a
shape, if you're a sharpshooter and you see just a shape that's not supposed to be there on the roof of the building,
this is different. This is not your house. This is the president, a former president of the United States.
But how is that not? How is that not similar, and how is that not built into that sniper, that sharpshooter, to take that threat out?
He was told not to. He was told to stand down. Just like 9/11.
It just seems odd.
Rules of engagement.
But how is that order not
so easy for this guy to do this? It just seemed too easy for. I remember when Pence would come back to town here. I live out by the airport. They would shut down all the bridges, all the stuff. I had to freaking go around there, and I'm like, "What's up?" Pence. This is the vice president. It's in town, so I mean, it's a big. They really do their research on all this stuff. So to me, it's like, how did this? It just seemed too easy. Just the guy was right there in a perfect lineup. It's like, if you look at the things before, how does he know where this stage is going to be?
Yelling.
Yeah, it's like. It's just surreal. I mean, it's very surreal to begin with, but then it's just like trying to figure out all this stuff. And is there somebody behind it other than this guy just being a lone gunman? I mean, is just somebody put him up to it? Is his family going to be rich now? I mean, that's how they get suicide bombers in the Middle East. They say, "Oh, we'll take care of your family if you go blow this thing up." or you'll have 1,000 virgins or whatever they tell them.
What do you
But
think?
what about the
Brandon?
Secret Service, though?
We're just all too. We should shut up. We should be polite to our guest. I
Yeah,
know
let
I was
her
the
go.
least one
He's-
being polite, but I'm going to.
He's got kids that their porridge is getting cold over there, and Tiny Tim needs to know his
Brandon,
bedtime
what do you
story.
think about the Secret Service response?
I think it was pretty pathetic. I think it was embarrassing to our country. I think that the lady, I can't remember her name. I don't. It doesn't matter. The lady running it, she openly said that she wants to have a diverse Secret Service with the DEI. She wants 30% women. Well, everybody that was there was shorter than Trump, so they couldn't even be a shield. I saw a woman who couldn't holster her gun. She was scared, obviously. I was a firefighter, and I've seen people scared and not know what they're doing inside of a fire, and you have to pull them out or help them out. And so I get that, but she doesn't need to be there if she's going to be scared and not be able to do her job. And as far as like pulling the trigger, from my understanding is you don't have to wait for clearance if you see a guy with a gun pointed at a president, not just with a gun, but pointing it at a former president or a current president or any official, really. So he doesn't have to wait as from what I have heard. Now I don't know, obviously, but he doesn't have to wait for permission. You see it, boom. You can see the video. It sounds like you hear in the distance. The video's pointing at the sniper, the good guy sniper, and you hear a pop, pop, pop. 8 of them, and then all of a sudden, the sniper doesn't move the gun, at least from what I could tell, and just shoots and gets him. And it's like he's obviously looking at him already. So there's so many questions that it's just like you don't know which way to go because you hear the same story. And as I always say, every single story has 3 different sides: yours, mine, and the truth. And that's kind of like what we're looking at right now. We see a lot, and I wonder what the truth is, because I think right now, who mentioned transparency? The transparency really matters because, yeah, that's what I thought. It was Brad. See, I agree with Brad way too much.
Yeah, you do.
Either
don't you have to
he's-
go? Don't you have kids to take care of?
I think Brad really is a conservative Republican because we've agreed on too many things.
I'm an Indiana Democrat. They're different. I feel like
a lot of them are a different breed.
Yes,
it's not a national.
No, oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's not a. I don't identify with that. So
that's not how you identify.
No,
no.
I'm a librarian. So
there you go.
Yeah, and I don't even. One day we'll have to ask you how this happened to you, Brad. Maybe not. How did you decide that I want to be a librarian? I mean, it's just like.
Oh no, I love it. Like I love books.
When you were a
like
kid,
I love the history aspect of statistics and in encyclopedias. Like,
okay.
I love that stuff.
It's okay. You can tell us that Curious George is your hero. I mean, you can tell us that
naturally. No, the man in the yellow hat.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm too old. You probably don't even know who Curious George is. That's such an old book. Do you know who Curious George? You don't?
Me? Yeah.
Okay,
well, no, the man in the yellow hat. He's the one who he's the one who carries around Curious George.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, I've Johnny can't read.
Thank you, Brandon, for putting up with us. We need to have like a time when we actually make sure that you as our guests have adequate time. And thanks for trying to keep John under control and weigh him down before he got here.
Yeah, I had to do a lightning round. I had to do a lightning round on there.
Oh, hey, the lightning round was fun.
It was
fun,
yeah.
Brandon, does it upset you that like in this day and age that it's not like the Kennedy assassination. We're not relying on one Zapruder film to, how are we this far from what we know right now?
I think that we should know more of what's going on. Like you were saying, how many videos should we have right now? Well, how many people were there? Maybe, a good fraction of that, 75% of people there should have some sort of video because everybody videotapes or records on their phone. And it's honestly,
the lady in the black hat. I saw a
conspiracy. She was like, yeah, I'll get shot, but I'm going to get a video of it. It was crazy. So
again, is that us just thinking in that conspiratorial kind of like mind frame, or?
Yeah, I think there's two. I think there's truth in we're thinking in a conspiracy type of way, and I think we're thinking in a logical way at the same time. To be honest, it's doesn't make any sense,
That's
but none
wild.
of this does right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So we got Robert Malicki. He's asked, who is Brandon Shane? Because he must have tuned in late. But and then also I'm going to take this as Brandon Shane. He's Beyond Formal host. He does a podcast. A lot of his viewers are on YouTube, but he's trying to build his Facebook audience. So, and he's on before ours. So he's not going to, you could use his show as a warm up for ours. He's like the warm up band for Mouthwash. See how he put us better than you. But you could watch him on the Facebook, and he needs followers. He just really started to branch out.
So Brandon, do you have a lot of thoughts about Todd McDermott?
Todd McDermott?
Yeah, from Hammond, the mayor.
Mayor McDermott. I met him when I was in college at Purdue, and I met him in an elevator. He thought he was a big shot and cooler than me, and I kind of just didn't really care that he was the mayor of Hammond at the time, and he was very confused as why I just showed him the same respect as I did the same guy that was standing next to him, and that was my first and only interaction with him.
Okay. Just like Lake County politics, I only hear like bits and pieces from relatives up there, so it's always funny just to kind of hear.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Lake County. Sorry to interrupt you. I look at Lake County, and up north, there's a lot. So I grew up north, and there's a lot of bad. And this isn't even like a Democrat Republican thing, but it's been the same leadership for as long as I can remember, as far as the type of people that run and win elections. And honestly, I think it's a time for a change, because it's not being ran well. A lot of the things up north, like they're letting like foreign countries buy the steel mills. If you go down Broadway in Gary, Indiana, it's basically it's not a ghost town, but everything's closed down and broken down.
But what about the casino? They just built the
You
Hard
got to
Rock.
have money to gamble.
Yeah, do you know what?
That's debatable,
I'm assuming
John. That
Oh yeah,
you don't need a lot of money
I'm
to
not on
gamble.
it tonight. I think I used all my brain cells on Brandon's show. I didn't want.
no, I mean, like honestly, like
Yeah, the
that
casino,
makes
I'm sure
sense.
it's going to bring
You wouldn't
money
think
in,
that.
but right now I'm looking, I don't see any money going into Gary or Hammond, or Hammond's closing schools down.
Well,
I
and
mean,
the thing
honestly,
is,
it's pretty pathetic.
didn't
No,
the
it's more like
Japanese
there are
buy the steel company? U.S.
Yeah,
Steel. It's not Japanese steel.
The Japanese, yeah, Nippon Steel or something like that. I forget
Yeah.
what it's called.
It's just weird to me that we make decisions in Indianapolis about the education of kids in like, Gary schools in Lake Central. And it is like, I'm like, I know that they're not as conservative as we all, or as like the Indiana State House believes they are.
Right.
And I feel like there is a loss of like how diverse our state really is, because it's weird thinking of Indiana as diverse sometimes, but yeah, like it, like from north to south, like it is a long state.
Yeah, look at that hillbilly.
There are
Lucy.
different people in different places, and I feel like we all assume that we're just this one Hoosier kind of mentality, and it's not. It really
Right.
isn't.
No, I can agree with that. I mean, even by me, you've got, rednecks and hillbillies all the way up to like, middle of the road people, and then all the way down to like ghetto gangster people. It's everybody within a 15-minute drive.
Yeah.
You get millionaires to people that make $2 a year. It's crazy. Within 15 minutes of a drive, you get all of this stuff. So
like, but then you have people in different like aspects of the government's targets, of what they want to fund or what they don't want to fund. And it's, again, I feel like it's, I feel like we need more input from the north and the south of the state in the state house than just what central Indiana is sometimes.
Yeah,
I feel like
can't
it's
disagree.
lost in that.
I can't disagree with that at all. I think, and with that, I think more transparency, like has been brought up a few times already. More transparency down in Indy would be great, and then have it go to the north and south, like you said. And I think with more transparency, more communication, I think Indiana will be good.
Yeah, well, here's Slick Witty, Steve Whitmer, running for Indiana House of Representatives, District 97, right here in Indianapolis, heavy Democrat area. He says everyone that lived in Illinois has moved to the region. Is that true or false?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true. No, I was kidding. They call them, I don't do it, but they call them Illinois transplants. It's the dumbest thing.
Did they come over and try to do their Illinois things, or I mean, you
Yeah.
really think about it. A lot of people think that Illinois is just big liberal state, but it's mostly just because of Chicago, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they control.
Mostly.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause
I will say I'm going to close on this because I really have to get going now.
Yeah.
I had a lady that I knew. I was doing some. I own a business. I don't want to say what it is, but I own
I'll
a
tell him,
business
landscaper. He's the best landscaper in wherever the hell you're from, Lake County.
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But I own a business. I was doing some work for a lady in Maryville, and she's like, I won't use the same words as she said because I'm not allowed to, but she's from Gary, and she said, you know, I moved from Gary, moved from the hood, saved up money, moved to Maryville, nice house, try to get away from all the junk out there, and she goes, little did I know I brought it with me. And she's talking about her own kids, and that's a lot of what we're seeing is that people are trying to get away from the bad areas. They're moving to good areas, which is nice, and they're ending up bringing problems with them, whether it's themselves or older kids or what have you. And I think we're seeing that a lot with the way people vote, the way people act, the way they treat their own property. So I think it could be good with people moving from Illinois. I know a lot of people that are just normal people, but I also know a lot of people that are moving in
Well,
and bringing in junk.
and it's taxes. I mean, the taxes are just killer over there. I mean, and ours are no cakewalk anymore. But hopefully, the new legislature will get the message about we're tired of all these, all these taxes that you have that just keep going up and all that. So, well, hey, Brandon, we thank you for sticking around. I sort of strong armed you into coming on.
Yeah, you did.
And then we didn't let you talk.
Brandon, thank you. That was good talking to you. So.
Yeah, you too. Lucy, it's nice meeting you. John, obviously we talked already. Brad, the disgruntled Democrat. We got along.
I'm gonna change my that's gonna be my new.
It needs to be. We got along. We agree on most things. That's kind of cool.
Did you hear about
you invited me? Come on, John.
Yeah. Did you hear about the pig that lost their voice? They're disgruntled. Never mind. So you can catch Brandon on the Beyond Formal. Look him up on the Facebook and like him. So, and guess what? We got the Tiffany coming on here. Let's see. Tiffany. Look at her. She's off over there at the.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey there. Oh gosh. There we are. Hey, how are you?
Look at she got a MAGA hat
Tiffany,
on.
oh my God, I've never seen.
So first off, I have to let you know that it is so incredibly humid here. Every picture I've taken, I look like Shaka Khan, Donna Summer. It is not agreeing with the hair. So the hat was probably one of the best things that I could have done. But I've had the best day. We went to, and Lucy, I thank you for allowing me to share. I know it's killing you because I'm on the plantation, as you called it. But
yeah, you're on the RNC plantation.
I'm the happiest slave. I've had the best time. We started with the lunch today for Republican women. Governor Sarah Sanders spoke. From that we went to the Black Mayors gathering. That was wonderful. Congressman Donalds, Senator Scott, just the best day ever. We finished at a gathering done with Moms for Liberty and the Heritage Foundation. And Brad, you'll love this. There's so much more to Moms for Liberty beyond just this. There's so much more to Moms for Liberty just beyond the school stuff that irritates you. They were just talking about using moms to make change, economic change, the power of the purse. So I'm hoping that our local chapter will evolve a little bit and we'll focus a little bit more on harnessing that pocketbook power. So really excited about that.
Get out of the schools and go there.
Get what?
Get out of the schools and go there.
Well, we have to secure the schools. We have to fix the schools before we can move on. So
Tiffany, I miss you a lot.
Did you say eliminate the schools and the socialist programming of our children?
Well, school choice is real. That's school choice.
Well, it is in Indiana. We are super lucky in Indiana.
We are very, very lucky. So on stage right now, like Trump's in the box, DeSantis is on stage. Everybody's here. This has been just the most amazing opportunity. This is so funny. Is that like
we got a live reporter here?
This is funny. They're selling like Trump merchandise, and of course everybody wants some. There's a lady right here in a sparkly jacket. I don't know if you can see her. She's right there in a sparkly jacket.
So where are you? Where are you? outside the thing?
Yeah, I'm just outside. I'm on the concourse just outside of the main room.
Is anybody wearing the Trump shoes?
I've seen the Trump shoes. Oh my gosh, I will send you a picture. I've seen shoes. I've seen everything. But yeah, Trump is here. It's absolutely electric. We are so blessed that God is a Republican and he turned his head, because this convention would be so much
Okay,
different.
okay,
if
Micah.
I
It's like Agent Smith. Agent
Hold
Smith
on a
is just
second.
taking over Tiffany.
Here we go, Brad.
Oh my God.
I'll save you, Brad. I'll put it up
I'm
here.
All I gotta
what?
say, Tiffany, is it must be so exciting to get your job promotion and be able to go work inside the house.
You know, it's so funny. My daughter and I, whenever we do yard work and it's hot outside, we always have that conversation about how handy we would have been as enslaved people. Yeah, definitely house slave here. So, but it is a wonderful experience. The people that we're seeing and meeting from all over.
So you're gonna get to meet Trump? I mean, I want to see a picture with Donald Trump.
You know, I'm really good. And I've got several pictures today. Governor Sanders, Congressman from Texas, lots and lots of pictures. But I know I won't get a picture with Donald Trump. Just the security here is so heightened that
Kyle
I
Rittenhouse
know.
there?
Who?
Kyle Rittenhouse? He lives in that state, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't seen him.
Yeah, he does.
But,
You're right. He did. He lived here.
but I'm certain that I won't get close enough to Donald Trump to get a picture. And I
Oh, so they're
respect
not
that
doing
and
any photos
understand.
with him. No.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do any more outdoor rallies either. And so I think that we come into this. Why would you? It's all about security now. But I think that we come into this convention and just really respectful and knowledgeable that our candidate was almost killed, and whatever Secret Service has to do to protect him, we all have to be on board for that, because a dead candidate does America no good. So
We'd still vote for him too, especially if he had a D after
well,
his
if he was in Marion County, he'd win, evidently. I miss you
Hey,
guys so much.
I would vote for a dead guy. Dead men tell tales, and dead men don't tax you.
Hey, I actually
Taxation
took
is death.
over for a dead woman. So I mean, I'm it's not
Yeah.
impossible.
And
I can't
the
believe this is
important
the
thing is
country that the
to
founding
secure the
fathers
seat.
planned. You know?
I'm so sorry, Brad. What'd you say?
I said I cannot believe that this is the country the founding fathers planned.
What did you think they wanted?
I don't know, not this.
Porn in the libraries?
Just
They
laughing.
wanted anarchy.
Just loving
They
life.
wanted anarchy.
Yeah, they want,
You
and
can't-
the Fed.
yeah.
I know they didn't want the Fed. That's for sure.
Oh, so look, there's a video playing behind me. I hope you guys are getting this if you're watching it on
Oh,
C-SPAN.
that's the blow guy.
That's Amber Rose and somebody else. So
It's a tattoo right there, right? Instead of a
yeah, oh goodness, they're shaking it right there.
That's Fujio Blow or something like that. So yeah, that's what you need to do, Tiff. So have you noticed any demeanor differences in Trump? I mean, because it looked like the other night when he was on there, it looked like he was just sort of sitting there, really just sort of somber.
Yesterday he seemed really somber. Today he's got a little bit more pep in him. Hey, I don't know if somebody took a shot. Oh, John, you live in Mars Hill. How do you feel when your house gets shot at?
Yeah, it's like it's just every day. I mean, it's nothing to me.
Right?
But,
every damn day. So it takes a little while to adjust to, I would imagine.
So are you going to go tomorrow too?
Yeah, tomorrow also. Well, all day Wednesday, all day Thursday. One of the things with the conference, there's the sessions that we have here, but there's also just lots of different programs, special interest groups. What did you do yesterday? There's just these. Yesterday I went to something for veterans. I mean, there's every flavor of Republican here. So I'm just having the best time.
Hey, Brad, do the Donald Trump dance for us, would you?
He has way too much rhythm to do that. Like, yeah, you can't.
Yeah, he's like he's like the little gopher on Caddyshack.
Right, I'm all right. Don't
about me. All right, that's enough of that. But
well, I just wanted to. Oh, go ahead. So sorry.
I was going to say, I'm glad you're having a good time up there. It's like I probably should be there. Maybe in 4 years I'll get to speak at it.
Yeah. I mean, hell, 4 years you'll be back on the ballot. You'll be running every two, right?
Yeah.
But it's been really good. Our Indiana delegation, we've got an 18-year-old, we've got an 89-year-old, we've got, I think, 58 delegates. It's a strong team. Mike Braun's here with his wife. I mean, it's just a really good representation of Hoosiers.
Wait,
So,
did Mike bring Micah?
No, Micah's not here. I would imagine Micah's out
What's wrong with the
campaigning.
Micah ticket? I thought the Micah ticket would have been like
Thank
Here we
you.
go.
showing unity.
People are complimenting my outfit. I have on my jumpsuit.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
have
gosh. I have on Converses. Oh my God. Can I flip this around and show you my shoes?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Can you see my shoes?
Oh yeah. You got some.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Like you
They're super
represent
comfy.
mouthwash, like good, but
Yeah.
well, we didn't know we were going to have a live reporter from the RNC tonight. So, Brad, you got to step up your game. Where is the DNC this year?
It's in Chicago.
Underground
yeah.
bunker.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can go to that, Brad. If
You
you're
know,
not
he's
up there,
preparing for it now.
As long as you can expense the trip through the mouthwash fund, that'll work out.
all right. We're going to
very
start.
nicely.
When is it? How long until the Democrat one? Is it a couple weeks?
4 weeks or so, sometime in August.
You could raise a fortune in 4 weeks. I mean, how much do you think that's going to cost? It's going to be expensive to go to that. I mean, what do you think?
Let's do.
I mean, you can drive your school bus up there and sleep in your school bus.
Yeah, he could buy the little.
Or you can drive a bookmobile.
Bookmobile, yeah, maybe the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Roll up in that. That'll get some attention.
So, I miss you guys, and it's so funny because here there's media here, ABC, NBC, CBS, C-SPAN, Fox, blah 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 blah. But there's also like so many people with like GoPros and like a little lapel microphone who are like doing interviews and stuff. So there's like media with a big M, and then there's media with a very, very small.
There's mouthwash with a small. And
there's credentials that say press and some that say pool. So it's kind of hilarious. but it's a really good time. I'll be back on the show next week. So I miss you guys. I'm having a great time.
All right. Well, have fun at the plantation, as Lucy
Thanks
said.
for the live. Thanks for the live report.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Oh, look. Oh, the other thing is that there's more security here than I think that we ever had in Afghanistan. Secret Service right there. And then Indiana actually sent up, I want to say maybe 60 or 70 state troopers.
Yeah, that's what they were saying on the. They said, "Oh, don't worry, we got plenty of troopers. Don't be trying no shenanigans, Brad."
So there's
John, how did you know? I'm flying.
It's probably in the news, but I've seen policemen from Tucson, Palm Beach, Iowa, Ohio. I mean, like all across the nation. There's so much security here, and then they had to adjust the perimeter for the area. They took it out further. There's so much security here, and you just, your heart is just open because these guys are just here keeping us safe. And making sure that it's an uneventful convention. So very, very blessed for that.
That's good. Well, I'm glad I saw you with Allie Madden and Becky Bechtel, and I saw a picture with them. How are they doing? Is Allie and Becky staying the whole time?
So Allie and Becky are playing this game called Let's Get on the Jumbotron. So they will dance with their signs. Oh my gosh, I will send you a picture. I made it to C-SPAN. There's a corner of my head that was in a shot on C-SPAN. And like I said before, listeners, family, Mouthwash family, the humidity here is real. Like my hair is like shocking.
Really, we had some nice storms. My apple tree blew down again.
I'm so proud, of you. Way to represent. Good job.
Thank you, Brad. Yay!
Oh, that stung, didn't it, Brad? Yeah, that was hard to say.
No, that's the thing. It's like I love when you guys have to preface complimenting me because I'm a Democrat. It's like, no, we are all equally awesome. I love that about us.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat. You all just need to start rowing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that.
And I think that is good, John, because it's like, even if we have different ideas and opinions, it's just important to be politically active. And at the end of the day, the majority wins. So every American should know that their voice matters and that they've got God-given rights and that they should exercise them. But nobody wants to be on the left side of history.
Well, you're looking at Brad for right up there. Well, that's one of the things. I've been catching some heat about having shows with Cassie Jackson on or have Mark Small on here. People give us a hard time, but that's where we started this thing. We want to, it's basically was a left, right, center show where we appreciate everybody's opinions. And, I think we've got to the point where we just want to demonize somebody so bad you can't even talk to that person. They did this or did that. And then you're associated. Now, I get it. You lay down with the dog, you get the fleas. I got all that, your company you keep. But at the same time, we don't understand how somebody thinks unless we have a conversation with them. Who you
Media
got?
small M. With media small M.
Oh, yeah. Look at him go. You got your media headphones.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole other story. I love the headphones. I really, really do.
So how do you use those in the do you use those for when you're in the meetings or do you just use it for when you're on the phone?
No. I just why do I have the headphones with me? It's kind of like a security blanket.
I love them. That sounded really like informational.
Security blanket. Oh look, I'm talking on my show. Where are you from?
We're from Denmark.
She's from Denmark.
Denmark.
So these are my friends. They're in Indianapolis.
Bill Common.
And yeah, we do a show once a week. So Brad is a Democrat and Lucy is a Libertarian and John is a host. He's also running for Congress. And so we do a show on Facebook every Tuesday.
Is that so? Yeah. Okay, so when you're done with that, can we do an interview?
Sure, I'll talk with you when I'm done.
Here she goes.
You're done. See ya. Bye.
We'll see you, Tiff. Go do your interview. Right. Make sure you tag us and all that.
Okay, I'll see you next week, guys. Love you.
All right, thanks for calling in. We got rid of her. She was stealing
that was
the
loud. That was
loud.
She looked adorable though. She really looked cute.
That was funny. You just giving her a hard time about the
plan. Nice.
And all that. So we can joke around about certain things. And, obviously this show is about an attempted assassination on somebody running for president. It is what it is. And we, like I said, sometimes we try to keep things light so that it keeps us from being depressed. But
that's it. Like, we all know that there's a line. Like, there has to be a line.
There's a line? I thought that I stomped on that and went.
Yeah,
right
you
over
kicked it. It was a line in the sand, and you kicked the sand in my face. I'll tell you that.
Lucy, you're not holding up every Federal Reserve Bank. I saw the one at St. Louis and sent you a picture because I knew that it was still standing because you haven't overrun it yet. Okay.
Yeah, so I know. I'm trying.
I'm
trying.
There's no goal.
That's what I mean. Like we're all there, and it's I don't know.
So are we ready for, speaking of lines, are we ready for the conspiracy theory? I mean, are you up for it? Brad, you got anything? Or you just been,
No, actually tonight isn't how is all of life right now just a conspiracy theory?
Yeah, it's like a dream. Somebody
at this point, it could be about really anything.
Yeah, I tell you, my conspiracy theory is, let's get to the conspiracy theory. Whoever's got a hat, put it on. I'm putting mine on because I'll tell you why when we do the thing. So here you go, where it is. We haven't seen this in a minute. We didn't do it last week and a couple, but it's back.
Hey, y'all, it's time for the conspiracy theory, so you better get your tinfoil hat out and let's see what's going on this week.
All right, now, kids.
Oh, man.
We're going full tinfoil hat. So I'm going first on the tinfoil hat thing tonight. I cannot wait for my opponent to use this picture on a commercial. That is my conspiracy. He's going to say, you want this clown, this hillbillyology, to run anything near the Senate or in the House or none of that stuff. So that's my conspiracy. So y'all go on. I'll just sit here and be cool.
Yeah. It's past my bedtime. That's the conspiracy.
Oh, you gotta put the banner up.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to put
now to really be on there. So let's see, conspiracy theory. We could do this. There you go. Have a nice day, everybody. So anyway, go ahead, making signs over there like to the.
I'm trying to spell out banner, and I was like R. Oh, it's tripped up. I couldn't get my brain to work.
I could read it. Johnny can't read. Go ahead, Lucy. You're up. I just did my conspiracy.
I have alluded to my conspiracies throughout the evening, simply by saying that, right here above my head on the grassy knoll is where Bill Gates was with his rifle filled with crickets and mealworms. And by the way, if you didn't think that it could get any grosser, any more gross, Bill Gates has said, and this is unfortunately not conspiracy theory, soldier flies make a milk substitute. So if
What's a
you
soldier? Hold on. What's a soldier fly?
so a black soldier fly is actually a special fly that chickens love. And so if you go on the homesteading communities, everybody's talking about how to make these black soldier fly, basically like incubation things, to where the larvae will crawl up and fall out and doom themselves to a very short life while the chickens come and get them underneath. So it's like it's a big homesteader thing. Sorry, black soldier fly larvae.
Who did that the first time?
They're breeding them to be food.
Yes, yes. And so they're literally like, you know how you take, like
what about the sanctity of life?
Oh, they don't care about that. That's certainly not the sanctity of
not?
your life.
Yeah,
well, I could say
They're
because
flies,
he's a Democrat.
I guess. I don't know.
No, but so they literally plan on making a puree of larvae, of black soldier fly larva. Just like, I throw almonds in a blender and put some water in it and a little bit of milk extract, and you've got almond milk,
Almond
right?
milk, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing. It's just if you're running short on almonds, you just throw some fly larvae in there, and
you're gonna make me spit out my teeth on that one.
You've only got 4 left, so you better keep them in there.
Yeah, no, I think it's 6 there. 6 of them. Yeah.
You got the deluxe dentures, got it.
Yeah, that's why they named it the toothbrush because I only have one. It's not the teeth brush. So go ahead, Brad. What do you got? What do you got for me, Brad? Are you done, Lucy? I'm sorry. Were you done?
Oh, no.
No,
yeah.
I was just okay. So this is not a conspiracy. I'm just going to make a public announcement of something that you guys missed, and this is just I missed it too until just the other day. On April 24th, the House passed the Repo Act. It was signed into law, and it gives REPO Act. It gives the president authority to seize Russian sovereign assets that are frozen in the United States and transfer them to Ukraine for its reconstruction. So in other words, what our government just told people is if the U.S. is mad at you and you're holding U.S. dollars, or you have, as a foreign country, you have money in U.S. banks or, any kind of assets, that they'll go ahead and seize those assets on behalf of your enemy and redistribute them. So I'm, of course, guessing that if there's $300 billion worth of Russian assets in the U.S. that have been frozen, that when those get transferred to Zelensky, that 10% goes to the big guy. So this is like that last sentence. That's the only thing that's conspiracy about this. But I want you to think about, what does it tell people in the world, and what should we do as citizens about it? So the answer is hard assets, gun, food, gold. We should all be buying things. Get rid of the paper rectangles as fast as you can, because very, very shortly the dollar is going to collapse. China's already sold 25% of their U.S. Treasury holdings in the last 12 or 24 months. Yes, and
Brazil,
BRICS.
Russia,
And Robert
India.
is right. Silver is amazing. Of course, if you get the Canadian silver maple leafs, they're 0.9999. There's 4 nines in the silver, so you can make colloidal silver out of it with a little bit of electrical currents from some batteries and some.
How much does one of those coins go for?
About $35 right now.
Okay,
so these are not
unattainable. 4 pounds. I got 4 pounds of. I got to take these out. They're killing me. I got about 4 pounds of old contactors. They used to make the old in panels.
Yeah.
And my father-in-law had saved them in old Folgers coffee can. I just got to melt them down.
That's freaking fantastic.
But yeah, there's probably only going to be 3 pounds of silver. But 3 pounds of silver that's how many ounces? That's 48 ounces. That's worth at least $40, right? A silver.
Well. When you think about when, Bretton Woods happened and Nixon closed the gold exchange window, gold was at $35 an ounce because it was decreed to be there. And then shortly thereafter, it went up to $850. So if you think about it in terms of gold stocks, now the problem, of course, with gold stocks is that they could, fiat the crap out of that stuff. You think you're buying a certain amount of gold and they're just diluting it.
Really? Gold's at $2,400 an ounce.
Right.
That's
and
crazy.
So what's going to happen when the US dollars are utterly worthless? Then it's going to take 24,000 pieces of paper to equal 1 ounce of gold. But you know what? People will still barter with me for my tomatoes. So do things in the real world.
And I got so many tomatoes. I can't give them away fast enough. I picked 50 ears of corn. It's like, and I got jalapenos. Oh yeah, your goldbacks are going. Is that one a one?
This is the only one that I have.
Oh, I got the same. Did you get it from the Red Pill?
No, actually, I got this at the Patriot Expo
a
year ago, and the guy was given like 5 of these to give away, and he's like, "This is the one that you need." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." So I have like shown it every chance that I get, even when people come to my yard and buy plants from me, my little plant nursery. That's what
I
I do.
actually
I show
mine
'em what's
got
out
I
there.
carried mine around so long it sort of got you know. But yeah, it's shiny. Look at my
Yeah,
shiny gold.
let me put this up because Tiffany had her hat. By the
Yeah,
way, I
Tiffany
bet
was.
gold is superior protection for my brain as opposed to aluminum foil. Just
I
guessing.
don't know. The
I just
foil's
need a
working
couple
for
more of
me.
them.
So I like Brad puts a mask on. That's so
Oh, yeah.
so
I've
Brad,
been
what
watching a lot of the COVID press briefings, because
That's
well,
hilarious.
I feel like we have a good media history of Donald Trump as president of the United States during a time of crisis. And rewatching that, it makes you kind of ponder what the hell was even going on. There was no leadership. There was no the episode I watched, and I call it an episode because he praised Fauci. He was praising Fauci. So, it was kind of surprising given the current
well,
temperature with
you know,
him. And he kept talking about the perfect vaccine that was going to come out. And he kept talking about how great the vaccine would be. And I feel like we forget so much of what he did. And I don't want people to forget about that. Whether
Me
like
neither.
I don't care what side you were on. We all had to go through everything like that together. It was not pleasant. I feel that everything that's been blamed on like teachers for education during that time, that wasn't even a classroom. They had to pivot their entire profession to be over the internet to kids
ah,
who were at their own homes. And honestly, I swear, if you were not a student trying to be a student in your own home, it is nearly impossible, I would say. I
yep,
feel so bad for that generation of kids because that was very, very difficult.
yep. There was one kid that missed his high school graduation, and then he missed another thing in college for something. It's like it was awful. If I would have missed my last year in track because of this stupid thing, and it would have
No,
been.
but I'm talking about the kids who just chose to not pay attention.
Oh, you're
To
not
be
talking
honest,
about what they were forced not to do, but
no,
yeah, you
no,
think
I'm
about.
talking about like how easy it was for kids just to skate by,
Oh yeah.
and they didn't have. And honestly, like parents were not as engaged as they should be. I don't think they ever really
Well,
are.
they're too busy working their tail off to make the two ends meet right now. So, Brad, do you think that
And isn't that an issue too? Then, and so
yeah, it is. I think I think there should be a time, and I think that this JD Vance guy. I'm not going to get into the vice president thing, but one of the things he says is that the single worker in each household it should be able to sustain their family. And honestly, and I grew up. I'm born in '61, and in the '70s, that was when it started to go where the mom started working.
yeah, but then
You
how
know,
powerful is a two-income household?
it's
And
very powerful, but
how
now
would you
everybody has
control
to
that
do it to
then?
survive. It was very
No,
powerful at the
but
time.
but John, that's a choice. That's a human life choice. It is not an economic choice, or it shouldn't be an economic choice.
I
The
agree.
choice to,
It shouldn't be. And if you're fortunate enough to have one breadwinner, it doesn't matter anymore if it's the man or the woman or the whoever's in your relationship, that the other person can do that. But there's a lot of families that they're not going to survive. I mean, the
No.
cost of housing, the cost of everything is just.
But we're making
crazy.
policies based on how people should be living their lives rather than how they're living their lives, and it is very
Yeah.
difficult to even that's why policies are failing, because they're not even
They're
looking
theories.
at the right things.
It's a great theory till you add people, and then when the people get involved and we're just people are getting left behind. They're just I don't think I think at some point we're going to have a trillionaire probably within the next 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
I mean, what's
And
it?
and
Elon
there's
Musk is $648 billion there or whatever.
there's a
It's like,
portion of the population that would applaud that. They would applaud that and think that that's a great thing because it shows competition and innovation and and all that.
Ingenuity.
Yeah, exactly. All of that.
Well, and at the same time, the poor, the spokes in the wheel and the cog are going at it. And you think about when you do get as successful as Elon Musk or a Bill Gates, he just had a $48 billion pay package. Now that's like, oh, I'm going to go down to the bank and cash my check this week. Well, how much is it? Well, it's $990 million. I'm just going to go cash that. We're going to go to the casino. We're going to bet on the ponies, or I'm going to give, and Brad, I know this is making you feel really warm and fuzzy. I'm going to give $45 million to the Trump campaign for 4 months.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so.
And yet y'all keep voting for these clowns. Y'all are going to argue
I'm
about
voting
which
for me
clown you
only.
should
I'm
vote
voting for me. I'm the chief clown. Look, I got my hat and my teeth. I can't keep them in, but.
Yeah, but Lucy, you can't be there at the end to just wag your finger.
Ooh.
No, I'm not there at the end wagging my finger. I'm like giving you both hands saying this is freaking lunacy.
No, she's giving you both fingers.
Exactly, but
both fingers, the middle ones.
Just like we would love a choice. Like, I mean, I feel
you do
like
have a choice. You could actually stay home. Buckminster Fuller, probably the best genius of the 20th century, said that the only way that you get rid of a bad system is to make a new and better system, and then people go and use the new and better system and the old one falls away from lack of support. So if you really truly believe that these people are diabolical on both sides, which I do, then you simply would not vote for either one of them, because voting for them is participation in their theater.
Right. Well, and that's my theory is, we have all these gerrymandered things, and the Libertarian Party, they fight it on both sides. You're either fighting one area that's a heavy Democrat or one that's a heavy Republican, or even if they're both, you're
and
still
100% all stupid.
Yeah. Well, and it's like I've always said, you need to have something better to go to. Either it's a relationship, it's a job, it's a whatever. If you don't have something better to go to.
I'm going to respond to Robert. He said, do away with the parties. You can't do away with the parties any more than you do away with gangs. The problem is that there is fraud at play. So it's worth it to get together and to conspire against other people. And this is the thing that I rail about as a libertarian, because first of all, we have the non-aggression principle, which doesn't mean that I'm pacifist. It just means don't start none, won't be none. But I agree with Malcolm X, who says that if a man puts his hand on you, make sure that he never wants to do that to anybody else ever again. And that's how, we tell our kids to deal with bullies at school. But the fact of the matter is we each have a group of individual rights, and I don't have the right to steal from you as an individual. And I cannot delegate the right that I don't have to steal from you to somebody else just because they wear a special costume. So, and you know what? You can't get together in my HOA, which I don't, not in anymore, but you can't get together with the folks in my neighborhood and say, hey, there's 5 of us and there's 3 of you. And so we're going to vote to steal from the 3 of you. And we're going to make this other person the enforcer who comes in with guns and steals my money. This is exactly what taxation is. It's just a gang. Writ large.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all government is. It's a gang. It's a protectionist racket, just like the mafia.
Well, and I guess I wouldn't mind paying the taxes if we were getting better service. And Spiro here is correcting me on the Trump. It's not the Trump campaign that's getting the $45 million. It's a super PAC, and I guess that this PAC is going to be about getting voters out. So,
and that makes total sense.
That makes you feel better, doesn't it, Brad?
Because as a human being, like if I was born and I didn't know anything, I'm glad to know that somebody created a PAC. Let alone a super PAC.
It's a super PAC.
Because it's just a thing to get around a thing, right?
Yep. I'll give you an example. Who
made those laws? Democrats and Republicans got together and made those laws.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the history. Like, fine. We need to get people, we need to infiltrate. We can't.
You can't go to McDonald's and infiltrate them and expect them to become organic. No, you have to make a whole new restaurant. And let people come to that instead, and then they'll stop
Burger
spending
Chef.
money.
Let's bring back Burger Chef.
McDonald's has chicken nuggets, and they're all good and stuff.
Pink slime. I'll tell you, and anybody in Indianapolis, let me know. We had a Core Life. That was my favorite place to go up at Keystone at the Crossing. And we had a Core Life in New Albany. And Dorn and I tried to go there on our date night the other day, and it was closed. And we don't know if it's permanent or not. So anybody from the Indianapolis North Side, Fishers, Carmel,
what's it called?
Crossing, Core, Core Life. It's right next to the Fresh Time, across from BGI Fitness. And it is the best restaurant. I love that place.
Yep. So you know, we've got a few restaurants closing around here, and you know, one of these pizza places, like 500 of those closed up. But I think it's, you know, something new comes and it sort of takes them out. It's like Walmart. When Walmart came into a lot of these areas, they knocked out the mom and pop store because they just couldn't compete.
That's the price of progress, right, John? Like,
Yeah,
it's
I don't go to
capitalism.
Walmart, but
Yay, capitalism.
I have to go to Walmart. I'll go there, but I don't go there that much. I don't go a lot of places. So it's
no, I do. Slick Witty said that. Well, never mind. But I do miss 24-hour WalMarts. Just as a thing, they were just fun to go to.
The one in Beach Grove was interesting. That one.
Best time to shop
Honestly,
is 1 a.m.
okay, like, and just to say this too, I miss wearing masks for the simple fact that I could yell stuff and they couldn't know that it was me that yelled it. If I just stood there, you know, you didn't know where it came from.
I didn't know. I can't even tell you're talking. I thought you were still Tiffany.
I missed that. Yeah.
Lucy Brenton, did you say Core Life on 86th Street is closed? It was when.
I'm asking the question, is it closed?
Okay, well, we'll put Spiro on it. He lives by there.
Yeah,
Spiro,
I would
find out.
love to know, since when
Like,
I
he didn't have nothing
Indianapolis,
else to do. He's helping me with the
I
campaign.
mean, if I get all the way to Greenwood, I know I'm eating at Roscoe's Tacos. But if I make it all the way,
Oh
to
yeah, they got
Richards, I'm
burritos
eating at
as big
Tijuana
as your
Flat.
head. They got
Yeah.
burritos as big as your head. Well, back to the campaign finance thing. So, you know, the most I can get federally is $3,300 from an individual. But, you know, like anything, it's like the Tour de France and doping. You know, they were all doping. So this is what a super PAC is. It's basically doping in politics. You know, because they can, but you cannot, you know, Trump can't talk to this super PAC and tell them what to do. He's not supposed to. But you just wonder how many people actually orchestrate this stuff. And, you know, so in my case, I get a super PAC that wants to do a negative ad on my purse, on the guy that I'm running against. And I don't want that. I don't want any negative ads. How do you, you know, but these people are going to do this ad for you and you can't do anything about it. I think it's hijacking somebody's campaign. So anybody that's going to super PAC that wants to do a negative ad on my guy, don't do it. You know, if you want to help me, do a positive ad about me, which there's not a lot of positive, but just make up something. That's all I'm saying. But don't do a negative ad on my guy. I just don't. People already know what he is. I don't need to tell them. So that's my thing about the super PAC thing. So, but you know, the one PAC that got rid of the guy in New York was they $14 million into this campaign. That's a lot of money to get rid of somebody. I mean, we saw John Jacobs get axed for $500,000 on a house
like,
race.
What amount of money is like a lot now anymore? Like, what amount of money shocks us to, you know,
$1 trillion? I mean, it seriously
no,
is.
but like but I mean, in politics, when you see like, well, there's this much money being put in for ad space for whatever Elon Musk was going to do. But I heard Trump had like blocked off like September through October on one of the networks or something like that with like so much millions of dollars just for ad space.
Yep.
Like, how does that make any sense?
It just, I mean,
it's
and plus we get bombarded by it. I mean, you know, the mailers you get here, I was getting 3 in a day from the same guy. You know, it's like, and they're to do a whole district it's like 30 grand each time. It's, you know, it's just crazy how much it is that it takes, you know, and I'm trying to raise this money to get messaging out. And obviously having your own show type of thing is one thing, but we don't talk about, well, we don't talk about me enough is what I'm trying to say. But you know what I'm saying? We you know, you just have to, you know, hope for the best because, you know, you get some earned media with people and do crazy things or whatever you got to do to get noticed. It's tough these days. There's so much noise out there with all the different platforms. And, you know, I'm glad we have our viewers here that watch this show because there's a lot of things that they could be watching. That's not this. I mean, they could be down at the RNC having fun. So, but anyway, that was our conspiracy theory got interesting there, didn't it? So, but yeah, there you go. Well, let's see. What do we got? Brad, that's why he took it off. Brad is driving me crazy with that mask on. I could go the rest of my life without seeing that. Well, you got a fan. She wanted to see your pretty face. That's what Lisa would say. We want to see your smiling face.
I was so like I've been waiting to bust that out. This won't be the last time that you guys see it.
And make sure you drink a big old slug of Bud Light before you put it on. Yeah, there you go. Now put the mask on, and then if you could put on those rose glasses at the same time, man, we'd lose 3 to 5 viewers.
Oh yeah,
it would be half of them. Pretty much.
I'm gonna do a whole show like that.
A whole show with that. Yeah, you need to put in there Christian nationalists, like we need in the background. That'll do it. All right. Well, it's way past Lucy's bedtime, and I haven't even eaten dinner. I did have a couple chocolate covered raisins. They were tasty because I was so hungry. It tasted like the best chocolate covered raisins ever in my life that I've had. So let's see what I got here. Wow, this has been an interesting show. We did have Tiffany for a while, and then Let's Go Brandon came on afterwards, and he's quite nice. I do remember meeting him now at the thing. It's funny. I don't know if you get people coming up to you, Brad, saying, "Hey, that's the mouthwash guy," or you, Lucy, you're the mouthwash lady. But it's funny when people do that. Oh, you're the mouthwash guy. What? Do Bullwinkle for me. And then David Shelton said he could do Bullwinkle better than me, but then he wouldn't do it. So I think he was just trying to get me to do it. So anyway.
Hey, it's already been decided by Spiro, and I'm chiming in too. We're all meeting up at Core Life.
Well, when is it? Where is it? What's up?
And Slickwoody, we actually have municipal water out here that is pretty good. The thing that I like about our municipal water, it's a co-op, and in order to be on the board, you have to live here. So any vote that you make, it actually affects people that drink the same water that you drink. In addition, the state of Indiana tried to take us over a couple of years before I got here, and they successfully fought them off.
Yeah. Well, that's and,
I know. This is like a little libertarian town almost. At least it's libertarian since my population moved in. I mean, like we increased the population of the whole city by a third, the whole little town by a third.
Yeah. Well, and that's sometimes you got to do that. You seem quite happy where you are. So
we were sitting out on the porch, my husband and I today, and I was just looking out, and everything is just so green, and the sky's so blue, and the weather's perfect. And on the back side of my house, I've got an elderberry bush that's like 12 feet wide and 10 feet tall. Then I got huge ones in my yard, and my plants are thriving. I mean, life is so good.
Yeah, that's what Lisa sits out. She's recovering from her foot surgery, and she sits out on the porch in the morning. And we got the 2 feral cats that I'm in charge of feeding now. And now they actually like me because that's the only time. But that orange one, I did a little cat video. Oh, Brad, you saw that cat video.
Yeah, I wanted to pet that one. I showed it to another person I work with, and I was like, "Look at this video," and she's like, "Oh, I want to pet that cat."
I know.
That's what I said.
You cannot get close. You saw when I got a little close.
It was yeah.
He's just goofy. So I'll take my cooler in the summer. I'll put some drinks in it, and then the ice melts. So, and my driveway slopes down. I dump the water out, and that cat goes over there every time I do it like it's new. He's going to get it. He's just, it's just like I'm like, you are the dumbest cat I've ever seen in my life.
You're like one of his favorite people, John.
Oh, I know it, but he hates me. I can't even get near him. Now, since I've been feeding him, but he still freaks out. I mean, he just, and the calico's not. I'll try to get a calico.
Cats are idiots, though. So,
Well, that's why we probably get along okay. But I did catch another possum, so I'm up to.
Man,
I'm up to 18 squirrels, 2 possums, 2 raccoons, and I've caught that orange cat twice. So he was embarrassed the second time. I almost hated to even go. I act like I didn't see him and open the lid so he could get out and be not embarrassed. But that's what happened. So,
are we talking about Project 2025 next week?
I don't know. I've tried to get Tony Kennett had who's the one of the Heritage Group guy on there. Yeah. So I'm trying to get a guest, but
isn't there anybody in Indiana that's a member of the Heritage Foundation?
I don't know. Maybe I could get Prager to come on or somebody. You guys got to help me with this. I mean, because I want to talk about what it is.
You want me to contact people to argue with them? I will totally do this.
Well, then you're hired. You will double your this week for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I'm a generous guy. What can I say? Yeah. So anyway, we'll try it next week and see what happens, because this was supposed to be this week, but then we had all this, hoopla going on, and
I will gladly call Rhonda Miller. Please,
does she know about the 2025 project, or
Probably. She's already focused on like whatever Agenda 2030 is. So
I don't even know what that is. I can't.
Neither do I.
I barely
I'm
have
sure
an
she'll be
agenda
able to
for
explain it.
tomorrow. I mean, I think I know what we're going to do, but that's my life. That's why I think I'd be
Listen,
good at this.
I would totally ask Rhonda if she hasn't blocked me from contacting her at all on Facebook.
Because
I'm so mean and I ask questions and say please and thank you. And yeah.
Yeah, and then you got blocked. I see.
Yep.
Well, I'll see if I can get her to unblock you. How's that? Because we're
okay.
I seem to be able to be friendly with everybody. You know, these people say, I don't like
Man, if you can get me back on that Purple for Parents page, that would I'd have
now
so
if
much
I get
fun
you
during
back
the day.
on there, you're gonna behave, aren't you? You're not gonna be friggin' library from hell. Librarian from hell, are you? You're gonna be
I just ask questions, John. I don't know what
boy. I don't, but I've seen your questions. I don't have a problem with your. I mean, if I can put up with Cassie,
that's what I love
can
about this show.
put up with anybody. You know, it's like that's what we're trying to do. So yeah, if you want to, you catch the Cassie show tonight, you'll find it very interesting.
Oh yeah.
It's an exclusive. It's exclusive.
All right, I'm gonna have to check that out.
All right, everybody, we got to go. I mean, this is like wearing me out. Hold on, let me find the button here. I got to find the right one. There it is. Hey, thanks for coming on again, guys. 181 shows in the books. Yay. We're going to try to do this 2025 next week. The rest of this week, we have Stock Market Neophytes. I do have a guest coming on. I have a guest on that show, and we can see our Magic 8-Ball predictions to see if they are accurate or not. So thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week. Same bat time, same Mouthwash station. Over and out. What happened?